I mean, this is the time where business planning is probably the hottest, just based upon the fact that, if you get to the first week of September and you're just starting on your business plan then, you're really too late. Good morning, insurance agents of the senior market. Welcome back to Near and Far. It is Wednesday, August 18th, bright and early at 7 a.m. Kristen, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
I'm good. I had an amazing cup of coffee this morning. My mother got me a new coffee machine for my birthday.
Wow.
So normally I'll wait till I get here to drink coffee, but I've been drinking the new coffee on my way in, and I'm arriving much more bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Are you double dipping and having coffee when you get here as well?
I'm totally double dipping. I'm totally double dipping. So Sue Carre, thank you so much. Everyone at the office is so pleased that I'm over caffeinated every morning. But Kristen, AEP is around the corner, and I guess the first question would be, what are your agents talking to you about right now?
So first of all, I can't believe AEP is right around the corner, but our agents are in full swing planning out their AEP sales. So I think that's what I'm talking about most. Some of the conversations are around leads, mailers, events, and kind of building off of what they did last year. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, this is the time where business planning is probably the hottest, just based upon the fact that, if you get to the first week of September and you're just starting on your business plan then, you're really too late, specifically if you're trying to plan leads and events.
We did see that last year. So my agents, my small slice of life, my agents who did really well last AEP did start early. So they didn't wait until AEP started. Like they were ready to go in August, September, full force, forward. So I would say AEP planning, we'll put like the products aside for a minute because we're still talking product and what's going to come into the market and what's hot. So assuming that's all set up, the sales strategy is really where agents are spending their time right now.
Yeah. No, and I think that's really important that you and Rob and others are meeting right now with interested agents on their co-op marketing plans. Just because, time is absolutely critical right now. So, Kristen, speaking about those co-op marketing plans, when you're talking to agents about what they're trying to put together, what are the things that you're looking for when you're trying to make a decision on, how to help the agent put their plan together, and then, what we're able to invest out of our budget into that agent's AEP marketing plan?
Yeah, sure. So a co-op plan is where we, collaborate with the agent and we offer to help support them financially in their plan, right? So I would say, we'll have to speak generally because part of it is meeting each agent where they are. A new agent is going to be a lot different than a seasoned agent who's in year 10 of their planning. But for the most part, we want a somewhat of a business plan, meaning what kind of enrollment do you want to see this year? Where are you going to end up? And then we can back into that way. And then not all agents do the same things, right? So some agents like events, some agents like lead mailers, some are working their current book of business and we're mailing that way too to try to get in front of those clients and expand the business print. So I guess like the first place we need to start with an agent is where do you want to be? What is your sales target for this AEP? And then we have the conversation of how are you going to get there? And that's where it gets really exciting because I think lots of times in sales we're so focused on numbers and methods, but the creativity sometimes gets not talked about, right? So we have some very creative agents, and it's really quite fun to talk to them. So I have agents who are doing all sorts of mailers right now, radio, TV. I even have someone who did a car cleaning just for AEP. He's ready to go. And then I do want to talk also about our co-ops with the carrier. So I think you and I talked about this a little bit before. Absolutely. Where we really are a liaison to the carrier for our agents. We encourage that relationship, and that's really where we can step in and collaborate with the carrier, the agent, and ourselves to come up with a great plan.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point about the carriers too, because when you and I kind of talked about this briefly last night, I think you're right that there are a lot of agents that kind of feel like, okay, well, I'm working with my local Aetna team or my local United team or whichever local team they're working with from a particular carrier. and don't think about like, oh, well, I should circle back to Neishloss and talk with Kristen or Rob or Shalisha or Sid about, hey, me and, Bob Smith are talking at the carrier about a plan. Maybe you guys can help us out and help stretch those dollars. Whereas
100%.
opposed to it being a 50-50, it's third.
100%. Yeah, and that's really what we've been doing this week. And it's so exciting because just with one more player in the pot, it just expands your flexibility in what you can accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it this way. If you have an agent who is working on a plan with a local market and they're putting in $5,000 and the carrier's putting in $5,000, by calling us and talking about what that plan is, and if we have the available budget, all of a sudden that's gone from a $10,000 plan to a $15,000 plan.
Right.
You just increase the potential effectiveness by 50%.
Just by working with us.
Yeah, for sure. So when you're talking with agents about the creation of the business plan, how do you advise them about doing that? I know you talked earlier about kind of figure out where you want to go and work backwards. What are some other thoughts around that business plan creation process to help an agent? Because I know that there's been times I've talked to agents and I've said, hey, we can help you, just give us a business plan. And they're like, I don't know this. They're like, I didn't go to Harvard Business School. I can't put together a business plan. And I'm like, no, it's much simpler than that. But how are you advising agents on doing that?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, it can be intimidating. It kind of feels like a blank piece of paper sometimes, but it doesn't have to be that way. So you start with where you want to go and what kind of tactics you'll use to get there. And it will not be just one tactic. There will be multiple. You're not going to get it done with just calling your current book of business or doing one event. We're going to need to put together a list of tactics that you will employ. And then you have to put together a cost per acquisition, right? So how much is it going to cost you per acquisition? I don't know. Is that how you work too, to do it that way a little bit?
I always have been someone, and I think Josh and I may have done an episode either last week or the week before where we were talking about how many leads should you buy. And I always like working backwards.
Yeah.
And I think it came from when I used to run a lot. And I think your husband's a big runner too.
He is,
but
yeah.
And at least for me, I'd say, okay, I want to run, this, 10K and I really want this time. And it's like, okay, well, I'm just not going to roll out of bed.
Happen, right?
I'm not going to roll out of bed and be able to do that. So, what is my plan to get there? And I just start working backwards. And for business planning, like if I use that type of mindset, which is usually how I do it, is I'll say, okay, if I'm Bob Smith agent, okay, and if there is a Bob Smith agent out there, comment on the video because Bob Smith is the name I use literally in every example. But, maybe Bob Smith is sitting there and he's saying, you know what, I would really like to add 75 members to my book this year. I want to keep all my existing members. I want to add 75 new members. Bob needs to think, okay, how many appointments does that mean that I need? Okay, well, in order to do 75 new sales, I might need 95 appointments. Okay, well, how do I get 95 appointments? Well, are you a sales event person? Okay, well, how many events do I need to generate that many interested people? If I'm a direct mail lead person, how many direct mail leads do I need to generate that? And just kind of keep working it backwards till you get to a number.
Yeah.
And the one agent that I talked to, I remember one of my first conversations about business planning when we were saying, hey, we can co-op with you, just give us a business plan. The agent actually made that comment. That's why I always say that. I didn't go to Harvard Business School.
Okay.
But I had just said, listen, buddy, I said, it's really just as simple as, like at the bottom, write, how many new pieces of business do you want to write? And you could just write this many leads, this many appointments, this many sales. And here's what it costs. And let's talk about, okay, if you work direct mail leads all the time, you should know what that looks like. The business plan literally can be as simple as that.
Yeah, it can be on an email. It can just be a chain. And yeah, you're right, because when you look at leads, then you look at how many face-to-face appointments do you need, or telephonic appointments do you need to make a sale, and you'll have a percentage. I think most of our agents, if they can get in front of someone, their close ratio is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's always the challenge getting in front of them.
Yeah.
So, and especially, I'll just kind of add this in from left field here. We are still kind of going through the roller coaster of this pandemic. So I would say having a variety is probably not a bad idea, or planning for something to be canceled is a good idea. Just assume that, hey, this might be taken out of the picture in this month, but then it could be put back in November. Just be able to be a little bit fluid with your planning.
Yeah, I think that flexibility is really important. I was talking with an agent the other day who, in a normal environment, has traditionally been, all they do is sales events. They're a sales event warrior. They're really good at it. But we were talking, and this particular agent had said, Bill, if you asked me 4 weeks ago what my AEP plan was going to look like, I would have said, hey, it's $19.99 again. Like one meeting every day, boom, 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 like Monday through Friday, 5 events a week, rolling straight through the AEP. And this particular agent saying, I think I'm going to have to go with a hybrid plan because, God forbid, I don't, do anything else.
Yes.
And, to your point, like, we thought COVID was over, and now it's, Delta and all this other stuff. I think having a multi-channel approach, as you're advising, in this environment, I think is really prudent. Yeah,
it has to be, because I can tell you right now, like, I don't think we're going to have a lot of notice either that something might be not happening or canceled. I think it's going to be very last minute and instant. So if you have yourself comfortable with your multi-pronged approach, you'll be in a better spot.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, because just recently we were doing some recruitment events in Philadelphia, and we actually have another one coming up. Mm-hmm. And one of the event locations we were working with, we were rolling along, and no masks required, and yes, we can bring in food and all of this. And then all of a sudden it was like, masks in the facility, no food and beverage. Like it just changes that quick. Mm-hmm. And who knows where we're going to be when we get to the 15th of October.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay as long as people are prepared to be flexible and adapt and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. So again, if you would like co-op on your AEP program, we've got dollars to spend for agents that are coming. If you'd like to talk with us about your business plan or how we can help fund it, make sure to hit us up at nf_studios@neishloss.com. It should be your favorite email address. It certainly is mine. So, Kristen, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will be back with you on Friday, August 20th at 7 a.m. This has been Kristen.
Thank you.
I'm Bill, and this has been Near and Far. See you on Friday.